Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unlock knowledge one source at a time. Today, we're diving into the world of keyless entry with the Yale Assure Lock SL. So if you're thinking about making your home a little bit smarter, well, we've got the intel you need. We've dug through Yale's official website, scoped out a review from the Lock Mob, and even snagged some insights straight from CES 2024, thanks to Security InfoWatch. Imagine this. You're coming home from a shopping spree, arms loaded with bags, and your keys are nowhere to be found. Sound familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Well, with the Yale Assure Lock SL, you just tap the sleek touchscreen, punch in your code, and you're in. We actually got a sneak peek of this thing at CES, and let me tell you, it's a real looker.
It certainly made an impression. And you're right, forgetting your keys is a tale as old as time. But what's fascinating here is how Yale is blending cutting-edge tech with sleek design. Smart locks are all the rage these days, and the SL model takes it a step further with its incredibly slim profile. It's a sign that smart home tech is becoming more integrated with our sense of style.
The Lock Mob could not stop raving about the elegant design, even calling it luxurious. And they were spot on about the finishes: matte black, satin nickel, polished brass. It's clear Yale understands that a lock isn't just a security device anymore. It's a design statement. But don't let those good looks fool you. The lock means business when it comes to safety, am I right?
Absolutely. Yale's experience in home security really shines through here. They haven't just jumped on the touchscreen bandwagon. They've thought deeply about how to make a lock that's both secure and stylish. For example, they've included auto lock. It's a small feature, but think about how many times you've left your house and wondered, did I lock the door? This eliminates that worry completely.
Okay, that's a huge stress reliever. I know I've been guilty of that one myself. And speaking of peace of mind, let's talk about the tech behind the security.
Right, so beyond the auto lock, you've got remote locking and unlocking through your smartphone, plus the ability to create temporary access codes, super handy if you've got guests, a dog walker, or you're running an Airbnb. It's all about giving you control over your home security in a way that fits your life.
And speaking of control, this thing isn't just a lock. It's practically the control center for your entire smart home. The Yale website highlights compatibility with all the major players: Apple HomeKit, Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings. You can literally say, "Alexa, lock the front door," as you're walking out. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
While the talking to your house aspect is definitely cool, what's truly impressive is how the app integrates with these systems. The Yale Home app lets you lock and unlock, of course, but you can also grant access to family members, track who's coming and going, and even see if the door is open or closed in real time. It's about being connected to your home in a way we've never been able to before.
It's like having a digital guardian angel for your house.
Mm.
But what happens if your phone dies? After you've asked Alexa to lock the door and you're already halfway down the street.
That's where Yale's attention to detail really impresses me. They've included a 9V battery backup option for those oh no moments. It's clear they've anticipated those real-life scenarios where technology might let us down.
Okay, so they've thought of everything. I like it. And the Lock Mob pointed out another thing. This lock is weather resistant. That might seem like a small detail, but anyone who lives in a place with, actual weather knows that's a big deal. Nobody wants a smart lock that goes on the fritz because of a little rain. Plus, it's got a long battery life, so it seems like a solid investment. But let's say you're the type who forgets to charge their phone twice a day, like me. Yale's got you covered with that 9V backup. Crisis averted.
It's definitely one less thing to worry about. You know what's striking about the Assure Lock SL is how it elevates the entire smart home experience. It's not just about adding gadgets. It's about seamlessly integrating technology into our lives in a way that feels intuitive and, dare I say, elegant.
It does feel like a step into the future, right? But I'm sure some of our listeners are out there thinking, but I like my keys. They've never let me down. What would you say to those folks?
I get it. Change can be hard. But think about it. How many times have you fumbled for your keys in the rain or worried about a hidden key not being so hidden anymore? This lock eliminates those everyday hassles and adds a whole new level of security and control. Plus those temporary access codes we talked about. No more hiding keys for the dog walker or that neighbor who waters your plants. It's about upgrading your experience, not just replacing one method with another.
Okay, that's a really good point. It's about making your life easier and more secure at the same time. But let's get practical for a second. We've covered the design, the security, the smart home connection. But what about installation? Because I'll be honest, when I hear smart lock, I picture a whole DIY nightmare.
Don't worry, this isn't one of those call a professional situations. Both the Yale and LockMob websites were clear about the Assure Lock SL being surprisingly DIY friendly. It's designed to replace your existing deadbolt, and you can install it yourself with just a screwdriver, though there's no shame in calling a pro if you'd rather leave it to the
Okay,
experts.
good to know. Those are the details our listeners appreciate. Anything else that stood out to you from the research? Any insider tips?
You know, I was impressed by the attention to detail. For example, the different finishes available. It shows that Yale understands that this isn't just a gadget, it's part of your home. Offering those choices, matte black, satin nickel, polished brass, shows they've thought about how it will actually look on your door.
Okay, maybe that's just me, but I am a sucker for a good doorknob. And this one, definitely drool-worthy. It's like they understand that our homes are reflections of ourselves,
Right.
even down to the doorknobs.
Absolutely. And that attention to detail extends beyond just aesthetics. It's about creating a product that truly integrates into your life, both practically and visually.
So before we move on, let's quickly recap what we've learned about the Yale Assure Lock SL.
This keyless wonder gives you a sleek, modern design, top-notch security, and seamless smart home integration, all at a competitive price. Yale really hasn't compromised on style or substance, which is not always easy to find.
They really haven't. But, it feels like this lock represents something bigger too, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the cool factor of the technology, but the Assure Lock SL is a glimpse into a future where our homes are more connected, more intuitive, and more responsive to our needs.
It's about more than just convenience. It's about rethinking how we interact with our homes in a digital age. And that's pretty exciting. But speaking of the digital age, there's one thing we haven't touched on yet, data security. With all this connectivity, how can users be sure their information is safe? That's the question on everyone's mind these days, right?
Yeah.
All this connectivity is amazing, but it does make you wonder about the security of your data.
You're absolutely right to raise that point. It's something any responsible smart home company should be prioritizing. And based on the information from Yale, it seems like they're taking data security seriously. They specifically mention using encryption to protect your information both during transmission and while it's stored on their servers.
Okay, that's reassuring to hear. Encryption is like the digital lock on your digital door, right?
Exactly. It scrambles your data, making it unreadable to anyone who doesn't have the key. It's a crucial layer of protection in today's connected world.
That makes sense. So we've covered a lot of ground here: design, security features, smart home integration, even data privacy. But I'm curious, from your perspective, what's the most compelling aspect of the Yale Assure Lock SL?
For me, it's the way it embodies a shift in how we think about our homes. This isn't just about a lock, it's about creating a living space that's more connected, personalized, and responsive to our needs. It's a small step towards a future where technology seamlessly integrates with our lives, making them easier, safer, and maybe even a little more enjoyable.
I love that. It's not just a lock, it's a statement about how we want to live in the digital age.
Mhm.
So for anyone listening who's on the fence about making the leap to a smart lock, what would you say to them?
I'd say consider what aspects of your home life could be improved by this kind of technology. Is it the peace of mind knowing your door is always locked? The convenience of ditching your keys? Or maybe the ability to manage your home security remotely? The answer will be different for everyone.
That's such a great point. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding the tech that aligns with your individual needs and priorities. This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of smart locks and keyless entry. Thanks for joining us as we unlock the Yale Assure Lock SL. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.